Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Vipareeta Raja Yoga, and we are at BAVA's 27th International Conference. And I'm Komilla Sutton, as you know. And so I will just share my screen. Today, on this special day of Vijayadashami, I am so pleased to be doing my lecture on Dusthana and Vipareeta Raja Yoga. So these are yogas that are connected to the Dusthana Houses. And we are at the 27th International BAVA Conference 2024. And this is Goddess Durga. And it's a victory day today. Victory over demon Mahishasura, victory over our own negativity, we can celebrate it. And this is me at Chandi Mandir. This is the Sthan Devi of Chandigarh, where I have a home there. So we are just going to do a little bit of chanting. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Dhanamulam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa. Om Brahma Murari Sripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budharscha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo. Om Nilanjana Samabhasam Ravi Putram Yamagrajam Chaya Maratanda Sambhutam Tam Namami Shanishcharam. So happy Vijayadashami, and for this we are going to do the two mantras. This photograph is Goddess Durga from Jwalamukhi temple, outside, not inside the temple. This is my hobby, to take photographs. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhake Sharanye Trambake Durge Narayani Namostute. Also, just want to say a few words about myself. As you all know, I'm the co-founder of BAVA alongside with Andrew Foss. And these are my books that I've written. My latest one is Shodasha Varga, but you can get them wherever books are available. Every year I take a temple trip, and 2025, my trip is on Rahu Ketu temples. You can look up all the details on my website, and that is komilla.com. And I do my student conference, which is this year, 10th to 13th January. Details are not as yet ready. Vimshotiri Dasha is the subject. And so, plus I have a full set of courses. And 10th of March, they start foundation course, rules of interpretation, prediction. It's a 108 class, 3-year course that I do. And next year's advanced course is on chart interpretation and counseling. Actually, interestingly enough, this year I was doing the yoga course. That's why I'm replacing everybody with my uh, things, because I have the material ready. But this my courses, the early bird is 21st of October. So again, all the details are on my website. This photograph is of Brihaspati. So let us get onto our subject today: Dusthana and Vipareeta Raja Yoga. So we are at the 27th International BAVA Conference, and you're with me, Komilla Sutton. So Vipareeta Raja Yoga. Some yogas bring positive results when planets are in difficult houses. These are known as Vipareeta Raja Yoga. Viparita means opposite or contrary. They give opposite results to what you expect. And they're very interesting because you see sometimes things that, let's say, depress us actually make it very good. And I thought a lot about it, and people with Viparita Raja Yoga create opportunities out of problems, challenges, and difficulties. So they don't see a problem as a problem. They do not let obstacles face them, but rise above and confront. So to them, a problem means how to resolve it. And some very successful people will have Viparita Raja Yoga. And when you look at their chart first, you wonder, why did they become so successful? Because they have these yogas, and they can overcome anything that comes through life throws at them. Uh, so what is a Viparita Raja Yoga? This is a special combination that gives great wealth. Viparita Raja Yoga is created when the rulers of the 6th, 8th, 12th are conjunct or placed in any one of these houses. Then these planets, instead of creating problems, give great wealth and fortune. Viparita yoga will initially cause problems, but we reverse the flow of negativity and create success instead. There's a very famous saying: if life gives you lemonade, if life gives you lemons, I make lemonade. It's the thing is that these yogas combinations need to be understood, because mm, maybe you have some struggle because the 6th, 8th, and 12th houses are invoked in these yogas. So there are 3 Viparita Raja yogas: Harsha yoga, Sarala yoga, Vimala yoga. Often they are just referred to as Viparita Raja yoga. So the first chart I'm showing, and these yogas you can study from the Lagna, the Chandra Lagna, and Surya Lagna. Lagna, ascendant, moon, ascendant, and sun as ascendant, and any other ascendants. Dasha Lord as ascendant as well. So this is Oprah Winfrey's chart. And what do you see here is that her 8th lord is the moon. It has got placed in the 12th house. And so that is a Viparita yoga. 12th lord is in the 12th house. So she has the 2 Viparita yogas. Her Lagna lord in the 6th is not a Viparita, because that is Lagna lord being placed in a more challenging position. But her 8th lord in the 12th and 12th lord in the 12th. And Oprah has been, made a lot in her life. And what happened was that when Oprah was starting her moon dasha, I thought maybe the moon dasha won't be so easy on her. And then she went into Mars dasha. But she managed, she gave up her TV career, but she has not given up her authority, and people still respect her, and she's still making money, all the things. And you see, the two Viparita yogas that are coming one after the other, the moon for 10 years, and since 2021, she's been in Mars Dasha. Mars also is in Ruchaka Mahapurusha from the moon, but so you can see this aspect in Oprah's chart. And Oprah's moon rules the 8th house, is placed in the 12th, creating a Viparita Raja Yoga. At the start of Moon Dasha, she gave up her extremely successful TV career, but rebranded herself as a great personality. You know, Mars 12th Lord in the 12th creates Vimala Yoga, and then Moon Mars Dasha 2012 carrying on to 2028. She continues to experience very positive results, maintains her image and success. She's very much involved in politics in the US election. Just now, she was there at the Democratic National Party and their conference, and then she did one-to-one with Kamala Harris. So you can see that her authority, her personality. So these Viparita yogas are important to understand. Then I especially got Bill Gates' chart. Now, Bill Gates is born with number of yogas. Any yoga you think, he has got it. And from his lagna, he doesn't have the yoga. And I especially wanted to do Bill Gates' chart because at our second BAVA conference, the great Chakrapani, gave a lecture on Viparita Yoga, and he introduced Bill Gates' chart, and he explained the Viparita Yoga. I still remember his lecture, and he was a very profound, great astrologer, great personality. And so here we see that in Bill Gates' chart, there are multiple Viparita Yoga from the Chandra Lagna. So here we see the moon. We can see a positive yogas, Adi Yoga, 6th, 7th, 8th house, benefics in 6th, 7th, 8th house. But let us look at this, that uh, 6th Lord Sun is placed in the 8th house. So that is one Viparita Yoga. 8th Lord has 12th Lord placed there, second Viparita Yoga, and 8th Lord itself is in the 8th house. Actually, I know somebody who has almost the identical combination, only she's Pisces ascendant. And she also makes opportunities from nothing. And here what you have to recognize is that Bill Gates' moon this is from moon. That means this is his thinking. And think back when he was young, when he was in his 20s, when this whole new Microsoft software, everything, that he did not think that anything is an obstacle for him. And his thought process was geared to it. If there's a thing, let's resolve it. Of course, those of you who work with software and engineering, there's even with work, there's a lot of obstacles that if something is there, how do we resolve it, what to do? So these Viparita Raja Yoga people, they don't work in an ordinary way. And so again, I put all this in detail. Bill Gates' moon lagna, 6th Lord Sun is in the 8th, creating Harsha Viparita Yoga. 8th Lord Venus is in the 8th, Sarala Viparita Raja Yoga. And 12th Lord Saturn exalted in the 8th, Vimala Viparita Raja Yoga. So Bill Gates' mind successfully created opportunities from obstacles. So you see, these yogas, when you look at them collectively, some people have so many yogas. I didn't look at his yogas from the sun, just to give you an idea. So now we come to the specific yogas that are there. So Harsha yoga is formed when the ruler of the sixth house is placed in the sixth in in the sixth house is occupied or aspected by malefics, or the Lord is in 6, 8, and 12. I've actually not looked at aspects for this, but in a lot of the classical literature, the aspect to particular houses, to difficult houses, also creates interest in those areas. So Harsha means happiness. And I suppose there's nothing like happiness when you have resolved some awkward situation and you've got on top of it. So sometimes even Dr. Charak in his book on the yoga says that it's said to give happiness. But I think the happiness here is that, yeah, I had this problem, I resolved it. This yoga brings good health, ability to confront obstacles, deal with difficulties, healing, service to others. It indicates power through fair means. Now, so it's it's very interesting that each of these Viparita yogas also are, you see, normally 6, 8, 12 can have little bit dodgy behavior. But when these yogas are there, this is actually specifically highlighting good behavior, indicates power through fair means. You're not trying to do all wrong things when this yoga is there. So we have Richard Branson with this yoga. He has Jupiter, he's Cancer Lagna, and sixth Lord is in the eighth house. Now, Richard Branson, entrepreneur, sports person, flying, going to the, he has faced a lot of problems, and each time he has overcome them, ridden them. Now this yoga will not be ninth lord in the eighth. This is only sixth lord in the eighth. That's a separate issue. We are looking sixth lord in the eighth house. And the Viparita yoga that is here, that means that uh, Richard Branson has this uh, thinking that any difficulty is to be overcome. And of course, in Jupiter Dasha, Jupiter Antara, so it's not just Jupiter Dasha, but any of these Viparita. Of course, he was also, uh, you know, doing these balloon flights, and then now he's flying to space. So, what this Viparita yogas are telling you, that there are people who face difficulty, they can be super successful. So like the yoga we were looking earlier, Mahapurusha yoga, they give opportunities, easy opportunities. But the Viparita yoga gives an obstacle and then gives you some reason how to resolve it. And Richard Branson is founder of Virgin Empire. Jupiter, sixth lord in the eighth, created Harsha Vipareeta Raja Yoga. One thing to remember with all these Viparita yogas, they will bring health problems. Jupiter in the eighth could give health issues regardless. It could give issues. Jupiter's body part is liver. It could be diabetes as well, various things you could think. I don't know Richard Burton's health issues, that's his private life. But when you look at a client chart, they have 6, 8, 12, you know, those, all those houses are there. Then somebody, King Charles, he has Jupiter, sixth lord in the sixth. Cancer Lagna, sixth lord in the sixth. This is a Viparita Harsha yoga, happiness yoga. And what you see here for him is that actually from the moon Lagna also, Mars, eighth lord in the eighth. So he has the two yogas here from the moon Lagna and from the Lagna. But the key factor for King Charles is that he is right now in Jupiter Dasha. And he had Mars Dasha in 88, but it's the Jupiter Dasha that is since 2013. And Prince Charles, he had pretty, people were doubtful how will be as a king, what are the issues, but he became the king in Jupiter Venus Dasha, and right now he's in Jupiter Moon Dasha. So, but Jupiter, sixth house Lord in the sixth house, definitely giving him health issues. He's been dealing with health issues, but also for Cancer Lagna, he has Saturn transiting his eighth from the ascendant. That is a Ashtama Shani transit. And I have done number of lectures on Saturn's transits. You can get them on my YouTube channel. Ashtama Shani, eighth house transit. So King Charles has got that issue. And Jupiter, even though Vipareeta reversing the thing and his ascending to being the King of England was, sorrowful as well because he lost his mother, but also it was quite smooth. So you can see that aspect. Of course, nobody has a simple life straightforward. So Jupiter is the sixth lord in the sixth in Harsha Yoga. King Charles became king in Jupiter Dasha, but he's also had to deal with a health crisis. So these Viparita yogas, they don't totally give you out. They don't give you out from the situation. So it is important to know that. So then the next yoga is Sarala Yoga. I don't think I'm going to take the full time in this class. So just giving you a little heads up before. But Sarala is formed when eighth lord is placed in the eighth house, or eighth house is occupied, aspected by malefics, or its lord is in 6, 8, and 12. Sarala means down to earth, straightforward. It makes a person learned, long lived, wealthy, famous, but there can be some hidden depths to the person that can lead to negative use of power. Planets in the eighth will always cause long term health issues. That is always, you'll see, if planets are in the eighth house, they cause long term health issues. Here we have Yogananda Paramahansa. His time of birth is quite used. He's Leo Lagna, and you see he has Jupiter in the eighth house, also Mars, which is malefic in the eighth house, which also can be regarded, but Jupiter, eighth lord in the eighth house. So Vipareeta Raja Yoga is there. In somebody like Yogananda, eighth house is more spiritual for him, moksha house, transformative, and aspect of Saturn is also there. uh, so one of the rules is aspect of malefics. But eighth lord in the eighth, of course, he, you know, I don't know about his health issues, but he passed away suddenly. But here we can see the Viparita Raja Yoga. You see, with all these yogas, it you have a certain position in your chart. You can't do anything about it. But what we can do is that we can learn how to use it properly. We can learn how to develop that quality properly. In Yogananda's chart, fourth lord is in the eighth house. It gave him foreign settlement. He was born in India. He was living in USA. So, there are other factors to consider as well. But the main thing, and which is where we are very lucky to know Jyotish and to understand Jyotish, that we can understand our chart and then try to use it for its optimum quality. And I just want to go back to the chart of Bill Gates from his moon lagna. You see, they say some misuse of power. He's always being, people are saying about him, he has 3 planets in the 8th house, 6th lord in the 8th, 12th lord in the 8th, and 8th lord in the 8th. So out of the yogas, the Sarala Mahapurusha Yoga is his uh, most prominent one. And of course, he became, he started Microsoft in Ketu Dasha, and he became what he is today, uh, Venus Dasha. Venus in, not only he has too many yogas to consider, but Venus in part of the Vipareeta Raja Yoga is the additional aspect. That means that anything that came in his way, he managed to deal with it and get rid of it or overcome it. And so you see that Sarala Yoga and kind of having a straightforward approach. Bill Gates, even if you meet him now, he doesn't have any, oh, I'm so great, or bells and whistles. He may think about it, but it's very down to a straightforward if you see his, um, you know, any lectures he gives. And then here we have Tiger Woods. He has 2 yogas. I have given the name of the yoga. So say here, the 6th lord is in the 12th house. So because 6th house is creating the yoga, I called it Harsha Yoga, but some people may call it Vimala Yoga as well. And you see here, 8th lord is in the 8th house. And uh, Tiger Woods, as a golfer, it's a daily thing about overcoming obstacles. When you're in a competitive sport, any sport you're thinking about how should I overcome, what to do, what is the strategy. So Jupiter would give wisdom as well for him. But in Tiger Woods' chart, there are a number of strengths here: Venus, Moon in Digbala, Mars in Digbala. But the 2 Viparita yogas, the 6th lord and the 12th, overcoming competition. I don't care. I have to win. 8th lord and the 8th. So you can see the 2 yogas that are there for him. And you see that it makes for a personality. So in his work, which was as a golfer, and then not only that, Tiger Woods got engulfed in this huge scandal, but he overcome that. Then he's had that terrible accident, and now he's overcome that as well. So he has been faced with a lot of difficulties. So one could say that if you have Viparita Raja yogas, there is going to be difficulties that you have to deal with and face, and then the opportunities can come. Um, so the last of the yogas that I'm talking about today is Vimala Yoga. And Vimala is formed when the 12th house ruler is placed in the 12th house, or the 12th house is occupied or aspected by malefics, or its lord is in 6th, 8th, or 12th house. Vimala means pure, clear, and spotless. So you see, Harsha Yoga, you want power, but in a straightforward way. Sarala Yoga, you're straightforward, down to earth. And then Vimala, pure, clear, spotless. These are not the things that the classics are telling you about these Dusthana houses. They are saying they are really bad and negative. But this is the whole beauty of this, that from negativity rises strength. And that is where the importance is. And Vimala Yoga shows success abroad, the ability to control expenses, and a special individual. As a strong house of isolation, it shows a strong personality that finds it difficult to mix with others. So, this is something that Vimala Yoga can give despite all the strengths. And maybe, the 12th house is house of moksha, so person who's purely on a spiritual path, but mostly we see charts of people that are human. They may have a spiritual path. And this is Prince Harry's chart. And you can see straightforward Vimala Yoga, 12th Lord in the 12th house. And, I mean, in his mind, he thinks he's talking the truth. He feels that he's been hard done by. From the moon also, Mars is in the 8th house. So that is 8th Lord in the 8th from the moon, and from the Lagna, 12th Lord in the 12th. And of course, his Dasha, while he was in Mars Dasha, he was very popular. He was doing all sorts of lad things. He was young. Rahu Dasha, that was more complicated for him. Lord of Rahu is debilitated as well. And of course, he comes into Jupiter Dasha in March of next year. And that is maybe going to, Jupiter Hamsa Mahapurusha Yoga give more wisdom to him in this Dasha. But the point here is that he has this ability to overcome even the biggest obstacles he has created. And you could say, yeah, he created for himself. And Prince Harry's 12th Lord Mars is 12th, placed in the 12th. From his moon Lagna also, he has Sarala Vipareeta Yoga, Mars as the 8th Lord in the 8th. And maybe people with Sarala Vipareeta Yoga, that means anything connected, they try to simplify things, or they think this is very, it should be all very straightforward and simple. And uh, and life is not. So that is something that I found the most interesting thing about these Viparita yogas, is that in each case the person is trying to be the best version of himself, or trying to overcome great obstacles, that so that they can be the best person for himself. I'm thinking also for Prince Harry, the Mars Dasha, that was a time he lost his mother as well. So to overcome the loss of mother, that is also a big issue, a big thing. And um, moon is eighth uh, from the moon lagna, sorry, Mars is eighth from the moon lagna. And from the lagna, it's 12th house from 12th. And I've got his moon lagna as well here. And you can see from the moon lagna, Mars is 8th from the 8th. You could say Ketu co-rules the ruler, so Ketu is also there. But in the dasha, Mars again overcoming the loss of his mother at a very young age. And then Rahu, of course, has the capacity to lead you astray if you allow it to. But the Vipareeta Raja Yoga, I'm definitely think that Prince Harry can turn his life around from all the complications that have followed him recently. So then the last chart I have is of Alain Prost, and Alain Prost has many Viparita Raja Yogas. In fact, yesterday I was looking at Alain Prost for a different yoga for him, but he is most amazing chart. And Alain Prost, those of you don't know, he was multiple Formula One champion sports, those motor car champions. And then he also had a horrific accident, and he got all burnt. But despite that, he came back again, and he became a champion here. And what do you see if you look at his chart from the ascendant? So you can see malefic planet in the 6th house with the aspect of Mars on it, and it's exalted planet in the 6th house. So I would say that is a Harsha yoga. 6th is Libra. 6th Lord Venus is in the 8th house with Rahu, another malefic. So that is the second yoga. And then Mars, of course, he is a sportsman. I mean, that's a danger, driving with danger. Mars, 12th Lord in the 12th house. So you see, these, all the Vipreetas are there. So he definitely um, overcome all types of obstacles. So in work of a Formula One, life is one big obstacle, really. You're dicing with death at 200, I don't know how many hours, miles an hour they ride their cars. And you have to have strategy and planning and overcome difficulties. Tire has burst or fire, caught fire, all sorts of things. But Alain Prost was a master of it. And it's very interesting. If you're looking at Alan Prost's chart, he has the same chart as Steve Jobs, uh, except he's born in France and Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco. And Steve Jobs was Leo Lagna. But he has 7 planets in 7 signs, ignoring Rahu Ketu. That is Veena Yoga. And he has a number of yogas that are here. And I put here Harsha Yoga, exalted Saturn in the sixth Lord in the eighth, Vimala Yoga, 12th Lord, Saturn in the 12th. I think I got that wrong. It's not 12th Lord. Uh, he was thinking, in his thought process was, okay, give me an obstacle and I can overcome that. That is his thinking. He's still alive, and this data is pretty good because all French data is very good. And then let us look at his moon chart. So this is his Lagna chart. So very confident in overcoming obstacles. So give him a problem, he would resolve it. And then in Moon Lagna, he has Moon in um, Pisces. So as I said, this is the same chart of, if you look at the chart like this, it's exact chart of um, what's his name? Steve Jobs, the Apple founder. But here, he also had Pisces moon. Only thing is his moon was slightly later degree. But again, you can see here, 6th Lord Sun has gone into the 12th Lord, 12th house. So that is one Viparita Yoga. And then he has the exalted Saturn in, which is the 12th Lord in the 8th, and aspect of Mars to Saturn, adding to the Viparita Raja Yoga. So Alain Prost as a personality was in his sports, and now also I think he's running a sports team and all. But that would be the major aspect of it, that his thinking was also, give me a problem, I'll resolve it, day-to-day problems. And here I put 6th Lord Sun, Harsha Yoga in the 12th house, Sarala Yoga, Saturn exalted in the 8th. Now, one of the problems with people with Viparita Raja Yoga would be that they're always looking for problems. And if they don't have that problem in their chart, then they don't feel that, they don't feel energized. So they always need to be active doing things. And otherwise, this could be a problem for them. So that is it for today. I want to thank you all for attending my class.